Okay,
Exactly.
we've been watching The Office, and Garrett and I can't unsee you as Michael Scott.
Nope.
I am not Michael Scott. I'm way
You
more
are-
confident than that stupid motherfucker.
No.
Fuck you.
no.
So unfortunate.
The only reason
all of you.
I'll let you know right now, I hate The Office still to a certain extent. The only reason I'm watching this still is I see you so much in that character that it entertains me.
Well,
see
you know
a
what,
lot
though,
of
guys?
characters.
Welcome. How y'all doing on the Don't Toast the Pre-Show? You guys didn't know that, huh? You guys had no idea I was doing this.
I
No one
literally
knows.
got a notification 2 seconds ago.
I know, but I'm pretty sure Conja and Roxy did. Did you guys see? Did you guys know?
I'm on my phone. I'm
I
checking
know.
if they're charging. So I'm here also right now. So I guess I'll figure I got a notification.
Oh, yes. Well, here's the thing, though, guys. We're here doing the Don't Toast the Pre-Show. Oh, nice. You guys can tell Roxy's back because there's burps and there's going to be farts in too, probably. What is up, everybody?
I shart myself.
Fucking A. It's the doo-doo couple. Yay! It's the couple that shits their pants. Oh, my God.
We're truly in love and truly soiling our pants.
What?
I don't know.
True love means sharing brown stains, folks.
No,
it
it
really
doesn't.
doesn't. Like,
I'm going with this bit. He
You
set
are
me up.
alone.
We're going to the woods. I'm gonna find these shitty jokes and I'm gonna deliver them to here to the people listening to us and watching us at the moment.
well, thank you.
Well-
Yeah, it's quality. But the thing is, though, guys, because believe it or not, this is not the Metropolis Collective. But the thing is, we are here hanging out, and we're totally normal. Trust us, seriously. But other than poops and farts and everything, I'm pretty sure Ganja was doing something else other than just doing that shit today. So, Ganja, how are you doing, sir, buddy?
Oh well, all day today I've been fucking cleaning shit out the laundromat, and then I got back home and just been relaxing. Roxy's been pretty much doing her work, and I've been on ARC trying to build up the little base we got going on there.
Oh yeah,
So
let's
pretty
do something over there right now,
small,
too.
slow day going.
Yeah, no, people. Man, by the way, guys, I don't know if how many people can like have inside of a Arc server, but if you guys have Arc, let me know. Only if it's on Steam, by the way, because apparently with PC, you know, hey, you got Epic Games version, you can't fucking do that. So whatever the fuck. But the thing is, though, yeah, if you guys have that game on Steam, let me know, and I'll actually add you to the server so you can play with us. It'll be fun. It'll be super cool. Just don't fuck with Alan's stuff though, because I think
I will kill you.
I just realized too. By the way, Alan told me, do not let anybody come on this fucking server.
I
Just-
will end your miserable fucking existence if there's one plank out of place.
Anyways, Roxy, how you doing, by the way?
I'm doing fine. Just going through training on my first day of work at my second job.
Oh, nice. That sounds miserable. But here's the thing, though. The big question here. And by the way, Jet, are you there? By the way, I know you're muted, but like, hopefully you're actually there, and you're not just being weird with me.
She's being hella weird now, dog.
I think
It's
so.
Jet. You're asking if Jet's being weird with you?
She's
Possibly.
not being weird. She's being her usual self, and I love her for it.
It's weird.
But anyways, I guess she's gone. But the thing is, though, it is a certain person's birthday today. Alan, what is
Oh,
up?
God.
Happy
Nope,
birthday,
nope.
dude.
Happy
Nope.
birthday. Happy
I will
birthday.
disappear into the chat attack void.
Happy birthday,
That's the
Mr.
word.
President.
I hate all of you.
You love us and you missed us, and you're gonna suck my toes when I see you, dog.
That
What?
So
makes
what you're
no fucking
saying
sense.
is, it's your way or the highway?
What?
My
she's-
way, my way.
Can I please ask you why have you been listening to Limp Bizkit today? Because like I'm not against it or anything.
That's
I
a
love Limp
good
Bizkit.
fucking question for anyone that ever listens to Limp Bizkit.
No, there's people who have good taste in music. But what was yours, Roxy?
Yeah, and they don't listen to Limp Bizkit.
Well, it appeared when I was doing work, so I'm like, hey, I like lumpy biscuits, so let's put in like a couple more songs.
Thank
And
you.
then it jumped from that to fucking let the bodies hit the floor.
Oh yes, fucking Johnny Poole, let the fucking bodies hit the floor,
You
Alan.
just nut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Fucking Johnny Poole is amazing. What are you talking about, dude? One nothing wrong with me, two nothing wrong with me, Ganja.
Three,
I don't know
nothing
about that.
wrong with me.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Let the boy hit the floor. Come on, Alan. Let the fucking bodies
No.
hit the floor, you son of a bitch. Fucking birthday boy.
No.
Let the
I feel
birthday
like you
hit the
pushed
floor.
him- I feel like you pushed him over with like the little birthday hat on and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's that fucking Lonely Island music video. It was like, and I threw the whole cake on the ground too.
I'm an adult.
Little jackass.
Dude, the thing is, I'm thinking of throwing Alan on the floor, but like when he falls, he has like one of those kazoos in his mouth. He just goes like right when he falls.
I'll kick you in the nuts as soon as I get up.
Oh Jesus! But the thing is, though,
Be
I'm
a
glad
pretty
that you're.
short fall, though.
Aw.
Man,
Well,
fuck you.
let's not do that on his birthday.
Happy birthday.
I hate you. I hate all of you.
JP saying, Nick, I love you, but you have an odd taste in music. Dude, we had the same
That
taste,
was
you
terrible.
fucking jackass. We had the exact same taste. Me and him,
But it's
that's
odd.
like the only thing that me and JP actually agree with. We're just like, yo, dude, the new Disturbed album, and he's just like, oh, yes. I was going to pretend like he...
No, he's just
he
saying
knows.
that to make you feel better.
No, fuck that. No, he likes this shirt. Fuck you, JP, fucking liar. But everybody else in the chat, Marissa's saying, why weren't you talking to us the other day in the Discord? Why not? Because I was tired. All right, you talk about fucking movies all the goddamn time. I hate that shit. I'm sick of it. All right, but I was also busy doing something, so it is what it is. But
I
yeah,
also have been busy. I kind of miss the after hours. I miss chilling with you guys, watching movies, and then leaving when someone shows up and having a good old time the rest of the night.
I'm Mauricio got to play favorites though.
all right. Well,
Look,
hey,
all I'm saying,
no,
like, every
hold
time
on. You guys are
Cedric
too no. You're too stupid to not say names or start some shit. Because last time I had to edit that shit out.
I'm
not doing it
now
tonight.
you're gonna fucking start shit.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it because he's good right now, but later on it's gonna be like, yeah, and then the other motherfucker
it's
cheats
just a
on
free
his wife.
trial. That once that shit expires and it takes $300 out of your credit card,
Look,
then
all
you'll
I'm
get the
saying, when Cedric appears and he starts getting mad because I talk about his little shoes, I gotta leave.
Well, maybe if you got his fucking show or name right.
Yeah.
One day.
Cedric Williams, I'll never forgive you for
He
that
has
one.
such an easy last name too. It's
You
like,
combined Matt Williams and Cedric Brown.
like, god damn. And by the way, Cedric's so nice. Like, that's not my name. Anyways, talk to you tomorrow. It's like for me, I'd be like, dude, I've known you for fucking 5 years. Say my name.
I
Yeah,
know
you
for
know
5
me for
years.
5 years, and I
I've
changed your name like several times. At one point, I just called you Diaz.
What do you, I mean, that's my name. That's fine.
Yeah, but it's your last name.
Like,
Like,
Nick
I
changed
gotta
his
say
name
the
several
whole thing to be
times.
official.
He went from Nick to also Nick.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm confused about.
I prefer the new name now, Doodoo.
Oh fuck you! That's not my name, goddamn. That's my nickname. That's my Discord name. But the thing is, though, is, people because I was thinking about doing this eventually for like an anniversary thing because it's coming up soon. But technically, like my family name is Nico, and it's based on a Steven Seagal character. The Steven Seagal movies. He's actually the first one that he did that made him become a big star. So that's probably what Ganja's referring to. But no, it's always been.
Damn, wait, holy shit, damn.
I highly fucking doubt it.
Yeah, no, serious. And Nicholas, I
Yeah.
know.
No, I highly doubt Ganja thought about that.
Yeah.
No, we talked about it before.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, 'cause one of the things me and him, well, this is kind of going deep into like me and Nick's friendship. So one of the things that me and him, his dad, have a huge interest in is like a lot of those old like '80s action films.
Mm-hmm.
So when me and Nick were becoming friends, like one of the things we kind of shared was like, "Hey, do you remember being forced to sit down and watch Steven Seagal films and have your dad practice the moves on you and tell you like, hey, if you do this, boy, I'm gonna do this to you."
Yeah, the slapping my fucking face around like an idiot. Like, yeah, I think this is the one from Nico. That's or they call him Toscani. Hey, Toscani, what the fuck you doing? You know, that whole thing. But the thing is, he's like a cop in every movie, but yet he's killing so many people. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, well, okay, wow, we just stumbled upon something really serious.
What?
Like, he's a cop and he's killing people. It doesn't make sense. I think it
I mean,
does.
shit, in the 80s, you were right.
In the 80s, yeah, but nowadays,
Yeah,
it's like,
man, you see RoboCop. Police brutality is fucking timeless.
yeah, goddamn. But
Yeah.
I feel.
Remember,
Ooh.
the only way to deal with criminals is to shoot them all.
What we gotta do at some point though, Alan, such as like choreography so much, we gotta watch The China Salesman with Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal.
No, we don't. I saw that fight scene. That shit was garbage.
Dude, that shit was awful. Well, we
No,
gotta watch
what?
it.
Mike Tyson was cool and shit, but Steven Seagal comes out. I'm just like, okay, we now just set the game on easy mode.
Yeah, basically. But Jed, are you there? By the way, I see you coming in. I say that weird. Coming in. 999. Said the
You
whole
coming
fuck-
in, and that's what she said.
but
Well, I'm trying to fix my sound because something happened like between last night and today, so I'm just trying to fix it.
Oh shit. Well, you sound good right now though, so I don't know if that makes it easier for you to decide.
Well, yeah, it has nothing to do with the microphone. It's the headphones, especially since I'm having a delay with speaking right now. So I have to fix it.
Okay, well, shit. But anyways, looking over here in the chat, though, Black Knights over here, Yasuba Fan, Mauricio, Bat Boy, all you guys over here, Hochada, saying like water.
I love Ryan's comment. I saw Steve Seagal at a fan expo. I didn't meet him. He chunky.
The guy's already a shitty actor. Do you know that dude like also shit on his looks?
Oh, he's a shitty person, bro. I think he committed a crime for his show at one point. Nick was telling me.
Yeah, look how big that fucking those cheeks, bro.
Facial
Damn.
hair-
No.
face out.
All right, first of all, I can explain this away. It was like mid-November. The man was storing up for the winter. He was getting ready to survive and feed his children. That's why it's so huge.
That makes sense, but then again, it's like you look over here too. This is not that weather beardless fucking jaw over here. Like, I don't know, man. If in winter you had to grow out the whole fucking facial hair thing. This is him like in the middle of summer. Like, no, I still got it. Look at me. So terrible.
Yeah, that's that face Elvis had before he shit himself to death.
But anyways, Jesus Christ, I didn't think we were gonna talk about Steven Seagal today. That's pretty awesome.
I didn't think I could make an Elvis shit joke today either.
But I want to give Alan the spotlight for a second. But I got some questions to fucking ask.
I don't
Firstly,
need this.
why do you celebrate your birthday doing things that are torturous to yourself? Because you gave Tenet another chance. What the hell, man?
I'm the big like Christopher Nolan's my favorite director of all time, straight up. So I watched Tenet in theaters like the day it came out in Canada, and you should have seen my Facebook fucking post.
Yeah.
That was a post of a man just breaking down because I was ranting and raving in the streets on the bus ride back to my buddy's place because it straight up, honestly, out of all the movies I've seen this year, it is the worst movie I've seen this year. And yeah. I cannot believe my favorite director made the worst movie this fucking year. And I saw the Sonic movie!
Well, but that wasn't a bad movie, though.
That's what I mean! I see the Sonic movie, and that was genuinely enjoyable. And then I watched fucking a masterpiece, supposed to be a masterpiece, from my favorite fucking director, and it turns out to be the biggest fucking piece of shit. So I'm just losing my fucking mind. And I was telling my buddies, like, okay, I can't understand half the dialogue in this fucking movie because sound mixing is so fucking bad that most of the dialogue is inaudible. So I'm just like, well, fuck it. At some point, they're going to release a Blu-ray with subtitles, and then maybe we can figure out the fuck's going on. Quick aside for spoilers, it doesn't fucking help.
Really?
At
Okay,
all.
that's what I was wondering. That's my next question, too. It's like, okay, does it actually make a difference when you watch this, having subtitles telling you exactly what they're saying? So if that's not the case, then does it look, I mean, I know this is like a stupid question because you already got the theater experience, but seeing this like at home and you can pause for action scenes or whatever, is it more fun just watching at home now so you can like enjoy the action scenes?
I generally enjoyed it better just watching at my buddy's place because it's like, yeah, you got a chance to kind of go back, redo some of the dialogue, but especially watching it again, you start pointing the stuff out. But the problem with watching it again, especially if you didn't get it the first time, you're trying to analyze every stupid little thing that happens because you're like, oh, that's supposed to mean something, right? But you don't know because the movie never answers your fucking questions. But like watching it in theaters, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But I don't know why. Maybe because the television we're on, I think it was a 4K television, and we got like a 4K copy. It looked better at home. So me watching in the theaters, I'm just like, I gained nothing from that experience. Watching it at home, it's like I enjoyed it a little bit more, but I appreciate the landscape shots a lot more. So it's like I just enjoyed watching it at home way better.
So we'll talk about whether or not this affected Christopher Nolan in a bad way moving forward, because I feel like many people were expecting too much out of him with this movie. But like, biggest question here that no one wants to bring up when it comes to Tenet, John David Washington, was he actually good? And do you feel like this movie kind of fucked up whatever he's going to do next?
Actually, I think it was great in it. First time I kind of saw it, I was middling. I was just like, I don't know. Watching it again, I could see that Christopher Nolan doesn't like to have main characters that are fucking Captain Jack Sparrow, like, you know, making jokes or chewing the scenery or being kind of flamboyant. He doesn't like that. He likes very serious, you know, drab, like I'm getting to the point. Like he doesn't like people with a lot of flair. He wants things to be serious. Too much so to a certain degree. So you can see that Don David Washington, like sometimes he's like doing the Nolan stuff, but every now and then he like has a line of dialogue or whatever that you can see his own personality kind of breaking through. So I think he did really, really well. Honestly, everyone in this movie did well. Extremely fucking well. It's just some of the dialogue is incomprehensible. And then once you actually figure out what the fuck they're saying, you realize it's actually not that bad. But the problem with this movie is the central conceit of it makes no fucking sense. What the fuck is the actual, ability in this movie? This inversion of entropy makes no fucking sense. I don't know what it fucking means at all. So every crazy bullshit that happens in this movie makes no fucking sense. But the best way to... What's up?
Well, no, because I'm wondering too, like, it doesn't make sense to you, but maybe it's just because, like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, maybe you just didn't get it, because obviously that's the case. But like, at the same time, do you see how it's like, okay, at a certain point, all these things lined up until this one piece of this movie where I'm like, okay, now I totally don't fucking understand it.
No, it's one of those things where it's like, in order to really grasp why they're doing anything in this movie, you have to understand what this ability is. The best way to sum it up is, for people that have watched Inception, there's a scene about midway through the movie where they plan the heist, because at the end of the day, it's a heist movie. So they're planning and they're explaining the rules at the same time. They're like, we have to do this in the dream in order for this to work, connect to this. And the characters are asking questions and they're spending time explaining it. If you took that 15-minute scene out and just went from wherever they decide to the action. That movie makes no sense because you're like, wait, how are they traveling here? Why does that do that? Why is there gravity? How is this dude on a wall? None of that would make any sense. That's this movie. There's a 15-minute exposition jump that should have happened. The character walks up to a scientist and literally 2 minutes in, she goes, don't bother understanding it. And then that's the last thing she says. And I'm like, well, okay, sure. Okay, I won't. And then you keep watching. I'm like, I don't understand how this works. Which means everything that's happening in this climax makes no fucking sense to me.
Yeah, because someone brought up something in I'll say trailer in the chat. I was like actually typing out trailer. But yeah, people were bringing up how, you know, like the Dark Knight Rises was so crazy loud. I don't know if they meant like audibly loud. I think Bad Boy said something about this. But it came to my head right away just reading that in the chat of like, yeah, like, does anyone, like, do people still feel like Christopher Nolan is as amazing as they thought he was with Dark Knight? Because at this point, with Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk, which some parts were cool, it's like, dude, at this point, he is doing way more failing than he is succeeding. And I don't understand why everyone puts him on this pedestal still, man.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna jump in now. I'm gonna have fun because me and Alan had this conversation a couple days ago, actually. In fact, maybe even 2 days ago. Anyways, besides the time skip, the thing is with this is I feel like, all right, Dark Knight is still a good movie, and I still like Batman Begins for what they're trying to do. They're trying to create this kind of realism within a Batman structure and get all these characters what they would probably appear like within a real life scenario. The problem with that is a lot of these movies after Batman Begins really go into the comic book style. I'm not going to mention the third one because Alan can even agree that one was just fucking a Batman story. Just made on TV. Yeah, it was a comic book movie. That second one, though, it does a lot of fantastical shit that I think the fans give a huge pass to, like the whole Batmobile, like transforming bullshit. I know a lot of it's practical effects, but the fact is, a lot of it is fantastical, even to the point where he gets like, you know, I forget the game where you just sneak around a Splinter Cell, like OP, like Bat Vision and shit at the end, where it's just nowhere possible with any kind of technology we have today. At least
what are you talking about? All that is like that. Like, I get what you're getting at, but a lot of the stuff in there, like, especially what happens at the Dark Knight, like, the reason I love Christopher Nolan's work isn't because he's able to make big, loud action set pieces. Hell, Michael Bay does that all the time, and I don't like most of his movies. But what makes Christopher Nolan more interesting is that there's always a certain level of intelligence to his movies. Not so much like, oh, it just stops the movie just to fucking preach you. It's like, no. There's always a certain level of the movie's going to explain this kind of higher concept. And sometimes it pulls it off. Like Interstellar does a lot of kind of interesting stuff with space travel and all that stuff that you wouldn't expect out of something as big budget as this, because you usually expect like some Star Wars stuff. It's like, oh, don't worry about this gravity, space, whatever. We're just blowing shit up. It's like he tries to go his best to go through this stuff to make sure that the audience understands it, and then he can do crazy stuff with it. Because again, especially in like the Batman stuff, it's like, yeah, we're gonna have Batman in this normal environment in the first one. We're going to kind of expand upon it, but we're still going to have this level of intelligence to this that you're never really going to get for anything that came out before, especially after. We don't know what's happening with the new Batman, so I can't judge it on there. The problem with Tenet is he fails to explain enough so that the audience can't get it unless they're like a film major and they're going to stop the movie at every frame to try to understand what the fuck's going on. And after twice watching it, I still don't get it. I feel like maybe if I watch it a third time, I might click. But fuck you at that point. Yeah. Like, I shouldn't have to watch a movie 3 times to fucking understand what's going on.
And I felt some of the same way with Dunkirk, because like the way you talk about some of these movies, especially like the later or the last Dark Knight movie, I felt this with Dunkirk. When I look at Dunkirk, this is a great movie. It's fun to watch. I actually had a great time watching this with Ali, Ganja, and everybody else on the call at the time. But at the same time, talking about this, character development-wise, it was just like, hey, here's a war. The character is the war. These people that are in here, who gives a fuck? I don't remember their names really being uttered that much. I think maybe like...
I don't know. Oh, no, they're not bad at all that anyone fucking died.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but like, it was just kind of strange. Like, I really did not like that aspect of it. By the way, thank you, Aaron G. Butler, for following us on Twitch. But yeah, dude, like I'm just looking at something like how Dunkirk was where it's I'm like, okay, Nolan, you've showed that you have the money and you have the right people behind you to actually like make this really interesting world. But then within this world, you don't really have nothing else to add, and that's where like the bad director shit comes in, because the same thing goes for DC Universe. Like Gotham City existed long before the Dark Knight series. He just decided to say, hey, let's make this a real fucking movie and put this in here. It was very Gene's saying Chad they didn't have names, so I'm like, yeah, like. You gotta get them names, man. Come on.
The funny thing is neither did Tenet. And it's one of those things where Christopher Nolan is a great director and a great cinematographer, but not that great of a writer. I want to say not that great because he did write enough of Inception, but he never focuses, like, it's weird because he's focusing on big set pieces, big landscape shots, and the emotion that can bring. But when it comes to the small scale, he needs somebody to help fill that void. That's why when he worked with his brother, that's when he did his best stuff. Because if you look at the writing credits, it's Christopher on Dark Knight, it's Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan. Jonathan Nolan knows how to make those very interesting character-driven stories, and not just like, oh, the Dark Knight's like, no. Jonathan knows a lot of stuff. Westworld season 1 and one of my favorite shows, Person of Interest, where it's like these grand sci-fi epics, but you're able to condense it to a human story. Jonathan Nolan does that really well. Christopher Nolan creates the canvas, well, but you need a good writer to fill it in.
Yeah.
So it's like Tenet would have been great if it had better dialogue, if it had more explanation, if that scene with the scientist at the gun range went on a lot longer, so that we could actually understand what the fuck this shit is. Like the inversion makes no sense. I don't understand it, and as a result, I'm lost when an action scene happens. I'm not quite sure why it's happening. I feel like I could, but it's like walking into a class halfway through. Where it's like, well, shit, I can't understand it now. All these equations make no fucking sense to me.
Yeah, no, that was one of the things I found really frustrating to hear other people talk about it, and then trying to watch myself. I tried every single time I get to like the 10th or 20-minute mark, I'm like, okay, I can't fucking do this anymore. You know what I mean? Like this shit's like
It's not even that long. It's like 2.5 hours. It's really not that long, but it feels like fucking 4 hours because you're mentally trying to figure out why the characters are doing what they're doing. And I feel it's cool to look at. It's really cool to look at. But if you don't understand how this guy has force powers, because he should have but couldn't have, it's fucking weird. Because this is one scene where John David Washington is fighting like the dude from RE6, like they literally look like Resident Evil fucking characters. It's actually hilarious. And he's able to kind of force grab the gun. And I'm like, that's a cool shot because they did it really well with versus technology and all that stuff. But I don't understand how the character was able to do that. Because the movie kind of explains like when you drop a bullet, you can kind of pick it up because you dropped it in an alternate timeline, but he didn't drop the gun, but he did. It's like you're almost there, but you don't have enough information to understand why that happened.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, it sounds awful that. Oh, dude, thank you very much, Mauricio, for the subscription. Really appreciate Nani. That's fucking awesome. But no, man. Looking at this though, these girls fucking dance. This shit's so stupid. God. I gotta find a better one, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You should.
Yeah, they're still going too. Just like
Just get Jen and Roxy to cosplay as them next time.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's that. And by the way, that was me doing Roxy's voice.
Yeah.
But no, dude. But when you did this review on One of Us, I remember you just losing your fucking mind to the point where I was like, "Wow, I was gonna give this like a 0 out of 5," and I can't remember what you gave it because they have a weird system in One of Us.
It was arbitrary, and I think the original movie experience, I would have given it like a 2 out of 5. Mm-hmm. Because there's interesting visuals, and I remember saying that as soon as I watch it with subtitles, maybe I'll change my opinion. In all honesty, I'm not changing my opinion. It's still a 2 out of 5. It is so far below average. It is a failure on the director's standpoint because I get that there are movies that are going to go over people's heads. I understand that completely. However, a movie that actually makes no sense is very different because I know there are criticisms of Inception, people saying it's too obtuse. But I never felt that way. Especially the first time I watched it, I got enough to understand it. The next several times I watched it was my own choice because I enjoyed the movie. This one felt like homework. I don't want, and I get that there's going to be times where directors want you to actually like study the movie, but I feel like there should be something in the first draft or the first watch that makes you enjoy it. It's the second subsequent times you enjoy it. The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time, bar none. It'll never beat it. Not best Batman movie, not best comic book movie, best movie. I've seen that movie 15 times, and all of those were a choice from the first time to the time I saw it literally at the start of this fucking year. All of those are a choice because I enjoyed the movie and I take something from it every single time I watch it. This second time, I got a little bit more, but still not enough to even get to a point where I can sit through the movie without going, guys, what the fuck's going
on? Before we move on, by the way, too, Gene's saying, I like Tenet. I saw it in theaters and I watched it at home the other day. They have fixed the audio since then, which is actually a very, very good thing because sometimes I feel like those things go into the movie theater like unrendered because they want to make it like the Dolby sounds, whatever, from like the actual theater. It's done a certain way where it can't be like levelated until it's like on home media. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's straight.
But they said the second time was better. Still, Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight are my favorites. Yeah, there's nothing that's dude. There's nothing that's gonna be Dark Knight. I really don't feel like, especially Nolan. I don't think he can ever do anything that's good as that.
I know, but he did Inception immediately afterwards, and I'm just like, hey, yeah, this isn't Dark Knight, but it's still one of my favorite movies. He did The Prestige. Yeah, it's not The Dark Knight, but it's still incredible. I want a good Christopher Nolan movie. Like, I'm sorry, like I liked Interstellar, but that last 30 minutes needed a rewrite. That last 30 minutes, just like you just shat an ending out of your ass. Dunkirk, I didn't like it. The parts I enjoyed was the soldiers, like the on the ground. But he spent so much time making this epic scale, I didn't care about anybody that was going on. So right now, it's like he's been disappointing me time and time again. At this point, man, like I'll watch your next fucking movie, but I'm not hyping it up. I'm expecting it to be shit until I'm proven otherwise.
Yeah, but really quick, we're gonna do this very, very quickly because I'm honestly like I was about to talk about this before we start the show, but I didn't want to like spoil myself from your opinion, so I'll get right into it. There's this movie that I was really hyped about just on the name of called Sound of Metal, and I was like, oh shit, metal music, woo, here we go. You get that for the first fucking like 20 seconds.
35 seconds.
Yeah, 35. And by the way, dude, the reason why you know how long exactly that is because was that not torture or was it fucking torture to hear that ridiculous fucking beginning with that?
I mean, I didn't mind it, but all I could think of is Nick must be enjoying.
Oh,
Like,
no. No, that shit. When people say, "Man, you're in the metal, you must like that devil hard fucking blah 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 shit." No, I like rhythm in music because that's what music's supposed to fucking be. It's supposed to have rhythm. I don't like when rappers try to go and like talk all fast because like Take 9 does that shit, Twista does that shit. I don't.
Eminem.
Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. There's lots of dudes that like to talk really fast, and I like guys with rhythm, like a Dr. Dre, a Tupac, even maybe Eminem sometimes.
No, Eminem hasn't had a good album in like fucking 4 of them.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. It's like I don't like just fucking because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're saying, and I can't even sing to it. And same thing with metal. I don't like solos. I don't like when Metallica goes old school 1980s and hits the fucking drums. Like, dude, if I had a kid and just put some drums in the middle of the fucking room, that's basically the beginning of Sound of Metal. And it sucks because it makes it a little bit comedic. When I was actually watching this movie, Riz Ahmed, this guy right here, he's the guy who was the villain on Venom. What's his name? The villain? His name's like Riot.
How
Or
the
something?
fuck should I know?
Well, aren't you a nerd? You like your Spider-Man bullshit? I don't know.
Wasn't this your favorite movie of the year?
Well, yeah, but I don't like this nerdy shit. Like, I had fun with the movie. I didn't go like, "Whoa, what's these characters' names? Who gives a fuck?" Like, it's fucking.
That guy's a character they created for the fucking movie. I don't fucking know his name. Just random business suit dude. He was a dude in Rogue One as well, so yeah.
No, but he turns into one from the comics. He turns into Riot. I'm pretty sure it's called Riot. If I'm wrong, people, make sure to let me know because I don't want to do it.
Ganja, he knows more about the Spider-Man Venom lore than I do.
Do you know who that was? Who Ms. Ramen's character was? Ganja. All right. So the beginning of this movie, it's kind of funny because when we watch this and she's losing her shit here, screaming and everything, he's hitting the drums so hard that his fucking like, and I love the way I do the audio here, and I know it's probably basic for people who watch a lot of movies, but it goes mute, you hear nothing but bass, all the treble, everything that's gone from the sound design, and it immerses you into the movie where you're like, oh shit, like, dude, I feel like I'm going deaf. What the fuck, and it's really like. It hit me kind of hard, dude. Like, that was kind of rough. And then Ms. Ahmed, he is reacting so appropriately to this entire thing. He's freaking the fuck out. He doesn't know what to do. I love that shit. But what'd you feel about that in the beginning, though? Do you feel like it was a little, like, odd, the fact that, like, just one day he's hitting the fucking drums and then boom, it's gone? Or what'd you feel?
Oh, it made sense because like you're dealing with all sorts of loud music like that, like all the fucking time, and it's like I've only ever been to one concert. And it's like, yeah, my ears were ringing throughout the whole, afterwards. Because, like, you have a situation where when there's loud sounds that are going on, the something that actually happens in your ears is, like, it tries to, there's, like, 3 small little bones in your ear. And they mention something like this in the movie. But basically, they expand so that your eardrums can kind of, deal with the stuff and doesn't cause that much damage. The problem is like, he's in, like, what you totally expect from, like, some grunge band where it is, like, dialed to 11 and he probably can't hear a fucking thing at all. He probably can't even hear his drums. So his hearing is fucked. So when that happened, I'm like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense that you're dealing with somebody like this and their whole hearing just kind of goes. Because the doctor eventually is like, dude, your hearing's deteriorating rapidly. I don't fucking know how. And I'm like, shit, listen to his album.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny when that happened, too. But the thing is, too, Lou's reaction, his girlfriend, and also lead singer of the band, I love how she's reacting to this, not only sad, but also like, listen, you are becoming worse for yourself here. Like, I'm trying to get you help on the phone. I'm trying to fucking cancel these concerts. And now you're giving me problems. And I hate in movies, especially dramedies or just dramas, where the girl just deals with his shit. And it's like, I guess we're in this together. This was a very realistic perception of that. where she's like, no, you're fucking nuts. Like, you're like treating this like it's an addiction, just playing the fucking drums. Like, I'm fucking leaving you. And she leaves. Like, within the first 15 minutes, it didn't have to have a bunch of build up. Oh, is she going to leave or not? It's like, no, this movie moved like how real life would fucking move. And I love that. What'd you feel about that? Just the pacing of it and just, like, big moments like that happening throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the first bit when you're dealing with all this kind of stuff, because the trailer for this is actually quite terrible. Like I watched the trailer, like this is bad because they just didn't know how to really edit that trailer together. But watching this and watching everything kind of go, it's like, yeah, the way they did the audio, the way the world kind of shut out, the way how frustrating it would be, it was kind of scary, especially dealing with that. Where it's like he is like you could tell he wants to just start punching every wall he sees, but he's keeping a pretty cool tone. Even though it's like, yeah, he can only hear like barely a word anytime someone says anything. So it's like it's frustrating for him, and he's trying his best to deal with it. But I definitely like how they kind of reacted, where it's like, yeah, she's scared for him. She doesn't know how to fucking deal with this any more than he does.
Yeah, and now we'll get into somewhat of some issues that I had with it, because this reminds me of another movie that's going to go very, very high on my best movies of the year list. But I don't know if you saw The King of Staten Island.
Nope, I refuse to because Pete Davidson's a dumbass.
Okay, well, Pete Davidson and Bill Burr are in here, and I love their chemistry, and I love how the movie also hates Pete Davidson. This movie is sick of Pete Davidson's shit too, and it constantly calls him out for every dumb, annoying little fucking thing he does. But the movie runs at a very awesome, realistic pace. But because of that realistic pace, it becomes an issue because there's things that they allude to that you never get to hear about, because the movie's not going to be like trying to give you I forgot what they call that, but like fuck, like when you over explain something, like and there's always callbacks like, oh, this is going to come up later on, blah blah blah.
Exactly.
With King of Staten Island, they bring up certain things, but yet you never come back to it. Like they refer to like Bill Burr being a gambler and Pete Davidson, something with his dad was a drug addict, but they don't really touch on it too much, and you don't really see anything like that. And with here, this character Ms. Ahmed, his Ruben is his character's name, but in this movie with Sound of Metal, they refer to him or make a reference to him being on drugs. Like his first time has an interview with another deaf guy to see if he can live in this deaf community. He's asking him, hey man, like, you look like an addict, you got something going on? He's like, yeah, dude. Foreshadowing. Thank you, Xana. That's what I was looking for, that word. I really appreciate that. But the thing is, though, is Ruben here, he pretty much alludes to like, yeah, no, I do heroin, I do drugs, I do cocaine, I do everything, blah, blah, blah. How do you have the money to do all that shit? And by the way, when you're in a situation where you can't work and get that money, you go do withdrawals. There's not one point here, unless I'm missing something, Alan, but there is no point here where any bit of his drug shit comes back into the storyline at all.
No, none of it. Well, he says he's been sober for 4 years, and he also met Lou for 4 years. So the movie kind of expects you to kind of imply that they got together, got clean, and then started the music thing as a result. So it's like he's over it enough, but you could tell it's like, hey, especially when he goes for that smoke and he has to call a sponsor, that'd be a situation where it's like he might relapse because of how bad shit's going. So it's like he's already kind of dealt with that. And it's like a lot of that stuff when it comes to, when you're addicted to drugs and you're junkie, stuff like that, you'll just kind of sell or whatever. That's probably why he doesn't have a house or apartment or a steady job where he went to music, because he probably just fucked his whole life up. And this is the only way to kind of keep eating.
Yeah. And that's one thing I really appreciate about this too, where it's like he doesn't have a big like dialogue heavy thing of like explaining to one doctor, hey man, all I have is drums. You can't tell me not to fucking be around loud music, blah, blah, blah. They're just like, look, camera, you know what's going on, right? You paying attention? Cool. And they don't ever explain. Yet the movie's still long as fuck. This movie's long as shit. I don't know if this is a problem for you, dude, but it definitely was for me.
This movie is fucking boring as fuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
After the 20-minute mark, when it has that interesting audio and stuff like that, the movie goes, and we're done. What are we going to do? Well, he's going to walk around and go to deaf school and just chill and write a book.
Play with kids and go,
and instantly become great at sign language, like where I'm watching Doctor Strange here and I missed the fucking montage where he suddenly becomes good at being deaf, and then the movie realizes, shit, we don't have a conflict and we don't have enough time we still have to have a runtime of an hour and a half to be a movie. He suddenly decides to sell his fucking place, get some hearing stuff, gets kicked out of the deaf community for some fucking reason because we need conflict, and then the movie ends.
Yeah. It's just like, and by the way, it's like not even in the sense of like these scenes would naturally happen. It just says, fuck, you know what? We only have like what you said. We only have so many minutes to go. Let's make him fucking stupid again. He's learned this entire movie. This entire movie, he's been getting better at thinking, being mature, blah blah blah. He's starting to like the community, and then we just revert back to like how he was that first day, where he's like, no one gives a fuck about me. I'm gonna fucking leave. What do you mean no one
Nobody
gives a
cares
fuck
about me. Cut 10 seconds ago. Hi, would you like to work here? Everyone loves you.
Yeah, like dude, and then like those two scenes being so close together, it's like you guys didn't pay attention to your own fucking movie.
No,
That
they
doesn't make no
realized
sense.
they realized they couldn't have this fucking be a 40-minute movie. They needed more conflict, so they just invented a problem so that he get kicked out of this area. Even though like he could have reasonably like I don't know, man. There's so much bullshit going on in this where it's like it just feels like they're making up conflict just to extend the runtime.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating because it's so obvious that that's what's going on, and that's why I'm like, I sit here watching this, and I'm like, I've enjoyed this movie, I've enjoyed this like as a story, but man, people get like so in love with their own product or their own like creation that they just think, man, whoever's into this so far, they're so interested, they don't want this to end. Let's keep going. This should have been an hour and 30-minute top movie because to be honest, something like this could have been done as a short film. But I get you gotta be an hour and a half to be feature, you know, so.
But that's what I mean. They needed to be an hour and a half to be a feature because they couldn't have a 40-minute movie because there's really only 40 minutes of plot. The character never really goes on a growth, but it never really redeems him. He reverts back to his original character form. He tries to do something, and I feel like the movie's like, well, now he's gonna go downward slope because this guy can't get his life together. But then he just kind of leaves, and I don't know what the fuck the ending really does because does he just? I thought he was gonna just like. I don't know, man. I had a few ideas what the ending was gonna be, but it just didn't any of them. It just ends. I'm like, bro, this was a waste. This was a waste of my fucking time, man.
Yeah.
I'm watching this going, yo, why did I fucking do this? Because I'm bored as fuck. Just kind of watching this going, is something gonna happen? No, cool.
Yeah, and
My
that's where I
sleeping
was.
senses went off.
Yeah, basically, because Jeb was trying to watch this with me. She was trying to get some sleep too, but she was like, "Yeah, I'll stay up and watch a movie. What are you gonna put on? Sound of Metal? Okay, it sounds loud. I mean, I guess sure." And then as soon as this movie gets into like the 5th minute, she's like, "Oh, I know you didn't put this boring ass movie on to see if I can fucking stay awake." Like,
No, it wasn't even boring at first. You're just like, okay, I see where it's going. Oh, that music at the beginning is absolutely terrible. This is the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. Oh, he's trying to lose his hearing. Oh no, half this movie is going to be with no sound, so I gotta pay attention to it while I'm also sleepy. I'm out.
yeah, and then like this guy.
I don't blame you, man. I feel like I could have stopped halfway through this movie and just did a review with the same amount of content.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I was thinking about the same thing. I'm like, can I skip some of this? Because like I gotta hurry up and get the show ready, blah blah blah. But then like as soon as I take my eyes off of it, something very important happens. I'm like, fuck! Like I fucking missed out here. And there's so many other characters, and I don't know their fucking actors' names or anything. But the girl from The Walking Dead, or the characters on Walking Dead is named Connie, but she's in here. No dialogue, obviously, because I think the actress, is legitimately deaf. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking
And
crazy.
one thing I'll give this movie, because like I don't know if those people are actually deaf, but they managed to do how it is to lose your hearing extremely properly. The sign language was really interesting to just kind of see how people talk like that. The whole voice to text communication was really, really cool. I can imagine they actually got actual deaf people to be in there. I like the variety of how it is when you lose your hearing, because some people can talk. Because if you basically how it is, if you're deaf when you're born, you don't really have the ability to talk. Because in order to talk, you have to actually hear your own voice or hear other people. So there's going to be people that are basically kind of mute or can only say a bunch of words. The main dude lost his hearing in a war, so he could still talk, but he can't hear anything. Like I like that kind of variety where it's like deaf isn't just one kind of deafness. It's a scale depending on when you lost your hearing.
Yeah, and it's not cartoony deaf
Yeah.
either. I've seen like one of my favorite. Man, I'm gonna get some shit for this. My favorite episode of Little House on the Prairie. This is when the daughter gets deaf. It's very, very emotional, but she's like, "Huh? I can't hear anything. Huh?" And she's like overreact. And granted, like, yeah, Little House on the Prairie is fucking an old show. They're not gonna do that shit right. But I can imagine of like if everyone felt like that's how deaf works, then we're never gonna understand how that is, you know,
Yeah.
because it's so fucking fake and it's so cartoony. And this I felt like was a little bit more realistic. Although I do think it's strange that he loses his fucking hearing very quickly, and then he gets it back very quickly too. And granted,
He doesn't get it back. They established surgery very early on in the movie, but it's very extremely expensive. So he just doesn't have that kind of cash, so he can't really do it. That's why he has to go to the, I guess the home for for deaf people,
Yeah.
where he can kind of learn how to basically do that stuff without having to pay like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, which is cool, and like the way they explain it too is like, well, your ears are not fixed at all. Basically, it's just mimicking the sound with this electricity or whatever the fuck. It's like it's not even real. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, she's literally like changing the way he's. I love that part too, where he's like, it's too high. It's like when me, you, and Ganja trying to fix XSplit.
Oh yeah. It actually did something very similar. I guess that's a common thing because I never really knew how hearing aids worked, especially with electronic stuff. It's like they don't actually fix your hearing; is that they basically they trick your brain. And there was a show called oh my god, I think it was Undone. Yeah, it was an Amazon Prime original where one of the characters was also deaf at birth. So when they got the hearing aid, everything sounds very robotic because it's electronic. So it takes a while for you to really adjust back to it to actually sounding normal. So for a while, it sounds like you're hearing a fucking robot.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really, really cool thing that they did there. But, yeah, ending was bad. But to actually come back in here and just say, look, this is what we really, really feel. I love this movie, but I cannot give it more than a 2 out of 5. It was fucking boring. It was just boring. And I feel guilty trying to get Jet to watch this. But before we get into Alan's review, I just want to ask you,
You want
Jet.
me to watch it? Fuck you.
I'm sorry. But, Jet, from what you saw, what would you rate this? And granted, there is context. You didn't watch the entire thing. But from what you saw.
Technically, it's not really fair of me to give a review, especially since I only watched maybe 30 minutes of it. Mm-hmm. And from what I was seeing, it could have gotten like way more interesting, especially with the with how they were portraying like going deaf and sign language and stuff. So I can't really give it a rating based on that.
Yeah, I guess
I
that's
don't really know how I feel about it. I don't really know how to feel about it because I went to sleep before it really got into its major elements.
Yeah. No, I guess I get what you're saying. And Marissa's saying, reminds me of how Corey recommended disturbing behavior, yet gave it a 1 out of 5. Jesus.
It makes no sense unless you're recommending for how trash it is.
Well, that's
I recommend it happening.
Because for me, I love this movie, but I can't recommend it. That's when we rate stuff. At least is how I rate stuff. I only rate things that I'm like, you should watch it because this is this particular type of quality. Me, I like bullshit sometimes. Venom is not a good movie. It's like tops is a 3 out of 5. But I love Venom. I will watch that over Endgame fucking any goddamn day. Like, holy shit, Venom's so much better than those fucking movies. Anyways, but we won't get into that. We're still on topic though, because it's Ms. Ahmed as Riot from Venom. But Alan, I'm gonna ask you, man, any last words as well as what would you rate Sound of Metal?
I can't give it anything. Yeah, I'll probably give it the same rating you are. I can't give it anything more than a 2 out of 5 because I think the first 30 minutes are extremely interesting, especially with the way they do audio and sound. Where it's like this movie has the balls to kind of just completely eliminate sound from a lot of scenes, and I think that would be hilarious to see in theaters. This is clearly supposed to be a streaming movie, especially with the subtitles. I would love to be like in a theater and people don't really get it. It's like, oh, the sound went off. Oh no, my theater experience is ruined. It's like, nah, being at home, it's like, yeah, the subtitles on it. It makes it interesting. But the problem is, I feel like this movie didn't have enough ideas to go further than a short film, where I think this would have been cool as a random episode of a random television show, or just like, hey, we're doing this 40 minutes, short film because we just want to show it's like, hey, this is how it could be from you going to hearing to deaf in a matter of days because it's terrifying. But honestly, it got to the point where I'm just kind of bored with this going on, and all this kind of training the character goes through amounts to literally nothing. The movie doesn't really even have an ending. It just kind of stops, especially when it feels like they're building up to something, and then they're like, oh, we've got 2 hours? Okay, cool, we booked it. So I really can't get anything more than 2 out of 5. Fuck it, I'm going to go 1 out of 5. There's really nothing to watch outside the first 30 minutes. An hour 30 minutes of the movie is a complete waste of your fucking time. So honestly, don't watch this. There are better things on Amazon Prime. Go watch those instead. Watch another movie about the rhythm section. At least an action movie.
Yeah, no shit, right? In the rhythm section, like you might think it's a music movie, but no, it's definitely not.
It's not. And the Sound of Metal, you might think it's a music movie, but it's not.
That's
They're
true.
Really bad at titles at Amazon. Holy shit.
But yeah, man. If this movie was just 30 minutes short, I'd be like, oh yeah, stream it, it's fine. But like, dude, with all the shit you guys can watch, like on HBO Max, Netflix, and everything, why?
Well, yeah. I mean, speaking of HBO Max, fucking AMC,
right
people are bad as fuck.
Well, this one right here. Christopher Nolan apparently ripped HBO Max as the worst streaming service and denounces Warner Brothers' plan. What? Talk about fucking salty as fuck.
It's a very strange thing because there's a two-tier situation that's happening right now with Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan doesn't. He's much like a lot of our tours where, very similar to the fucking Martin Scorsese of cinema is the greatest thing ever. So it's like you have to watch it in theaters to get the full experience. It's a mix of that, and it's a mix of the fact that Warner Brothers did this decision without really notifying anybody. They just kind of said, "Fuck it, we're doing it," and it's basically been one of those things that's just kind of come out of nowhere. I personally think it's a great idea because it means that people in the United States can watch it without risking their lives, but the rest of the world that varying countries have gotten their shit together, depending, can still watch it in theaters if they want to.
Yeah.
So pretty much they get as much money as they're gonna get without any of the negative press. I think Christopher Nolan is just like, I feel like Christopher Nolan is kind of tone deaf to the current situation because he works in a country that isn't really as bad as America right now. So theaters are still decently open, so you can still get that experience. Because to him, he doesn't really care. It seems like he doesn't care about box office that much.
Yeah,
which is something I can respect. Because I don't think he was mad that Tenet didn't do well. I think he's like, well, I just kind of wish more theaters were open. But I think he just wants people to experience it on a big screen. And for him, money isn't really an issue because I don't think he said anything in that statement of, oh, they're going to all be financially broke. It's like, no, he never really cares about that shit.
Yeah. But, I mean, for being an artist, as Gene was saying in the chat, it's like, he's a shitty artist. I'm sorry. Hey, art is subjective, right? Well, subjective to me, he fucking sucks at art. And he can shut his stupid fucking mouth. That's what he said over here. He says, some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were going to work for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out that they're working for the worst streaming service. By the way, that's what, like, the streaming service is the new studio. Because there is no studio right now. You're losing fucking money. Movies, talking from the guy who's made movies, it's like, Nolan, shouldn't you know that the shit costs money? Like,
but that's the thing. I'm not saying to defend him. He's never cared about the pay. He's always cared about how the experience, and you see that with a lot of his movies where he wants to sell you an experience. That again, I disagree.
Let's actually work on that because experience, right? The theater experience now is basically at home. So your experiences are what? Hulu, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO Max. So you're telling me that this dude says the worst streaming service is HBO Max, which, by the way, has the most fucking movies, the fucking most to offer.
Netflix is around, like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've only had HBO Max for 2 days, and by the way, I don't even like the way that fucking program works right now because it's slow as fuck. But it's the best one easily. Easily the best one.
I think he pushed.
Let's be honest here. Let's be 100% honest. What's going on here? This is what happens when an old industry begins to die, and the people that maintain the old industry are starting to get pouty and whiny that the fact they got to deal with new stuff coming in. It's the same shit that happens every time something gets developed. This was like the first time when we got the fucking talkies in the 20s and shit. Like Christopher Nolan, you get with the times, or you're gonna fucking fall behind. This is literally that's it. Like, but as long as COVID's going to be a fucking issue, and then not only that, a lot of people, let's be honest, a lot of these fucking streaming companies made a lot of bang for their buck with a lot of these straight to VOD releases, so they don't really want to start sharing with the fucking theaters again. And most people rather watch from their living rooms than go to a giant movie theater that aren't fucking cinephiles. And unless it's an actual experience, most people are just cool watching it from home with their own high definition setup.
And I'm good with Ganja on this one. I'll say this earlier. I said this earlier. Say this again. I've seen The Dark Knight 15 times. Do you want to know how many times I saw that in theaters?
Probably a lot. I'm gonna imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Throw out a number. I'm curious. Throw out a number.
Oh, you say yes.
I'd say 8.
I would say 3.
37.
I've only seen it once in theaters.
Oh, really?
And that was 6 months ago. At January 10 months ago. Yeah, the start of the fucking year. Last year, the start of the fucking 2020, the only time I ever saw The Dark Knight in theaters, ever. So 14 of those attempts, and people know I don't shut the fuck up about that movie. I got an experience at home that I enjoyed, that I could go through, I can watch it as many times as I fucking want. So I'm sorry, and I love Nolan. Fuck theaters, and I hope they die. I legitimately hate theaters.
Me too.
Tay's also with us. The last movie he saw in the fucking movie theater was Sonic. I'm assuming it's the Tay that's been following us since the beginning of our career.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think so. But that's the thing, though. Is like thinking about that. There's so many fucking ways to watch stuff at home now too. Like just like the new fucking TVs, the 3D stuff. That, I mean, by the way, that's kind of stopped. I've noticed.
3D has been around for a while, man. There's like fucking 8D.
Well, no, but it's weird. It's like even IMAX stopped 3D. It's like, have we all accepted for the 8th time in the last fucking 2 decades?
Look,
3D
Avatar
sucks?
made a lot of money, okay?
Jesus, like
that's the only reason 3D is around for like the 5 years it was. It made a lot of money.
I just wish it would stop giving up at this point, because like that's the thing is like the world just like gets tired of 3D and they're like, I miss it. And then you bring it back and they're like, I'm tired of it again. It's like, just stay with the 3D. I want to buy me a 3D TV so I know that's gonna be fucking cool and not be forgotten about in a fucking year. Goddamn trendy ass shit. But the thing is though, is like I'm looking at HBO Max here and it's like it's literally for every single fucking person. I don't know if you looked at like Netflix kids section. I've always cared about that because I'm a family dude and you know back in the day take care of nieces and nephews, so it's always been a thing that I really wanted to have a nice kid experience like on Netflix. And they have the shittiest cartoons, the lamest fucking movies, the horrible their animated section's terrible except for anime. That's actually not too bad. But the HBO Max you get Sesame Street, you get a fucking Elmo, like you know, interviewing people. You get the Looney Tunes coming back, blah, blah, blah. Hulu has fucking Animaniacs. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't understand how Christopher Nolan can look at HBO Max and say, oh, this is the worst one. You're just mad because they fucking won, and they're going to get money. Well, like, that's all it is.
Yeah. I think it's just he feels like we're going saying this old industry where it's like, oh, like the people say music should only be played on vinyl. You know, I'm sure if there was a fucking Nolan of music, he'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck, CDs or HX or what the fuck came next? Fuck that shit. You can only experience it through vinyl." It's like, I disagree with that fundamentally, but at least a situation where it's like he's not like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get paid." Like some of the other actors are like, "Wait, are we still getting our fucking cuts from this?" Because at the end of the day, a lot of the bigger wigs like AMC are like, "We're not gonna get our money anymore." Like this is a kiss of death for theaters because if Disney follows. Holy shit, okay, we're starting the streaming wars again. Yeah. Where we're just going to see which big budget movies are going to go onto the platforms. If Netflix starts getting some of the other ones, Warner Brothers does their HBO Max, Disney does Disney Plus, what are you watching in theaters? Because people don't want to watch the small little indie movies in theaters anymore. Those go to streaming services anyway. It's going to get to the point where theaters have nothing.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing where we're at now. Because I want to go through this list, but, you know, the list came out. There's like, I think, fucking 15 movies are coming out. Same day, theatrically, as well as on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And, dude, I'm going to scroll down really quick. There is some good shit. For one, Tom and Jerry.
Matrix 4.
Wait, right away you're going to talk about Matrix 4? Fuck Matrix 4. That's so not even on the list, bro. That's
on my list. Fuck you. Tom and Jerry is? That trailer looked terrible.
You're only happy about fucking Matrix because you're in this movie. That's the only reason why.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's so cold isn't a random movie. You'd be like, well, I gotta at least watch it.
You guys don't know the joke, but just so you guys know, from now on, Alan is Keanu Reeves. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, that movie, I don't think that movie's coming out December. I think that movie's gonna be delayed.
What Matrix?
Yeah, there's no fucking way it's coming out.
Yeah, well, don't say that because I'm actually running about movie December 2, and hopefully Gunja doesn't remember what the bet was. But yeah, something's coming out soon, and
I'm sure he'll remember based on context.
I do not remember at the moment, but when I do, I come
never mind.
Woody.
I'm excited for Mortal Kombat, man. Somebody in the chat was like, "Give me my Mortal Kombat." It's like, dude, fucking yes, bro. Yes, I cannot.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm not gonna do what I did with Mortal Kombat 11, whereas like this is the best thing in the whole wide world.
Every time they try to do a Mortal Kombat thing, there's always a 50% chance it'll be good.
No, only this year. Lately, I'm pretty sure every Mortal Kombat thing's cool. This year, fuck that up.
Again, live action is very different, man. Like they managed to get the animated movie good. I'm like, cool. I don't know how you're gonna do this live action.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, and one thing I will say that's kind of annoying, and I don't know why they even have this on here. Like, ooh, what the fuck? But Cry Macho, another Clint Eastwood movie. I thought he was done.
Man, that man's never done. How is that man still alive?
I don't even know. He looked like he was a walking corpse in fucking The Mule.
Oh, he's a walking skeleton. I can see the motherfucker's bones.
Yeah, it's fucking rough, man.
He's like 105. Like, Jesus Christ.
This should have always went to streaming. So I don't know if Space Jam's going to make a ton of money next year. But, like, I mean...
It was an animated feature with Looney Tunes. It was going to make money.
But do you think that this is like a blockbuster type? Because, like... Come on, like
it's an animated feature. Animated Looney Tunes. It's gonna make money. Like that's like saying, oh man, is Disney's or Pixar's Soul gonna make money? Is it a blockbuster? It's animated. It's gonna fucking make its money.
Yeah, Ryan saying Space Jam. It's a huge following. I don't know, man.
I don't know about that. I think that if you're stuck in the bubble of DC, yes, because Corey worked on the original. But as far as the actual thing, it's the Looney Tunes and LeBron that would sell it, as well as Ryan Coogler's name, because everything that guy's made has been fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think to make a lot of money just based on double toasted people. Like, oh, Corey made that shadow, ha ha.
Are you guys saying that Space Jam isn't going to make its money?
No, I'm saying it's going to make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, I'm saying
Space Jam's fucking huge. It's almost as huge as Shrek.
No, okay, for one, you're talking about like in weight, because, like, yeah, Shrek's
Shrek
big.
2 is better than Space Jam.
Shrek is terrible. All the Shreks are bad. Fuck Shrek.
Whoa,
Fuck that green,
no,
ugly little
Hold
fucking
on here.
bitch.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Shrek is a fucking
Shrek 1
great
is
movie.
Shrek 2 is better.
Shrek is fucking awful. It's
I love them equally.
Wow, wait to be fucking wrong.
yeah, way to
Why?
be fucking truthful. Oh, and here comes Roxy. I like Shrek too.
I need a hero. I need a hero.
Shrek.
Is a
I own fucking Shrek slippers.
See,
Fucking love Shrek.
people. Jay's like, get the fuck out of
She's
here.
with me. I look like Shrek.
Now,
I want somebody to clip this so that we can remember this in a year.
now, if you were to say Shrek 3 was bad, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I can't really argue with
And
you.
I forgot Shrek 4 existed.
I thought I like Shrek 3 for only a few things. But I would have
Wait,
liked
what?
it.
Sorry. We're busy killing Nick about his opinion on Shrek. You like Shrek 3?
Only certain things in Shrek 3, but I want to fight for it.
It's
Was
a
that
Nick,
the
you're
one
fired.
contentious scene that I like, babe?
It's that, and then I do like his interaction with the Justin Timberlake character in the beginning.
No, Justin Timberlake was the fourth one.
Oh, that's fourth one. Never mind then. I'm out.
Wait, that's even worse.
Oh yeah. Honestly,
Jesus Christ.
people, Exhibit A.
No, there are bad Shrek
They don't
movies,
even
but
know what
they're not
fucking
all
one they're
bad.
defending.
Nobody's talking shit about the first two.
We're defending Shrek 1 and 2, which are actually like masterpiece of movies.
I'm just, I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll probably watch that again and review it. But like, I don't know.
Man, I thought you were one of these days I'm gonna actually watch the movie.
I hope a sanction don't fuck up the reboot.
No, I'm not even gonna hide something. I'm gonna put something out there just so everyone knows, okay? Because people will be like, "Oh, you said you watched it and you hate it." No, I say I hate it. I didn't watch Shrek 2. Okay, I've seen the first Shrek and I hated it. And when I hate something, I don't come back for more hate. I say, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna touch that again." So yeah,
You do that all the time.
I don't do
That's
that all the time.
exclusively what you do. You played Cuphead for a year.
No, that's video games. I'm talking about movies.
Fuck you, Nick.
What?
Fuck you. Just leave it
What?
there. You watch wrestling. Go eat a dick.
Happy birthday, Alan.
I hate you.
Give it take off a punk ass.
I know. But
Liar.
with Space Jam, kind of know we got lost in the other thing, but it's like Space Jam. The only thing I was saying, I know this movie's gonna make money, but it's like, they're like, holy shit, like, in that trailer they're showing like here's all the great movies that are gonna come out next year, blah 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 blah. Space Jam had like a whole little bit of a trailer there, and I'm like, wait, like, you guys think it's that big? Like, what the fuck? So maybe I'm missing something.
Animated feature, Looney Tunes, LeBron, Ryan Coogler. You have every single, like, the Venn diagram of that is huge.
That's true. Yeah, so it is what it is. I'm fucking stupid. Now this I'm really hyped about. Godzilla vs. Kong. I've been waiting for this. This was actually supposed to be coming out on my birthday last year. Or this year, my bad, a month ago. Whatever, who gives a fuck? 2020. But Corona happened, didn't fucking work out. But yeah, the only issue I will say though is that if there's any movie on this list that needs to be seen in the movie theater, this is the one.
I disagree.
Really, like, just because of, like, why? Just in general.
Again, when I see, because I saw Godzilla in theaters and I saw Godzilla at home, and I enjoyed it just as much at home. When I say I didn't see Godzilla King of Monsters because I just didn't like that movie, so I didn't watch it again. But seeing Kong or seeing clips of Kong, watching it again at home, I enjoyed it there. I think this idea that you could only enjoy something in a theater blows my fucking mind, because it's like the fucking, like, oh, you have to go to the theater, you have to be super quiet, you got to make sure you're not too close to somebody, you can never, pause the movie or maybe go to the bathroom, you have to sit there for 2 fucking hours and experience. That's like, fuck you. Let me enjoy it the way I want to fucking enjoy it.
But the scale of this, man, I mean, it's fucking Kong versus Zilla. Like, you gotta, like, I don't know. For me, I feel like just the purist, you gotta see it in a big screen.
Fuck purism.
Okay. Well, no, I agree too, because you're keeping me safe, so I can't argue with your opinion that much. But like, people think like Alan. If you want to live.
Sorry, I don't care. Like, again, this idea that you have to watch shit in theaters to get the true experience is this elitist fucking bullshit that I'm really sick of. Where it's like it's the only way. Like fucking Martin Scorsese. My issue with his thing about Marvel being cinema isn't that I disagree with him. I fundamentally agree with him, but it's the pompous nature of his statements. Like, it's the pompous nature of elitist film goers, where you have to watch in theaters in order to get the absolute experience. I feel like you don't need to. I feel like that is a fucking relic of past tradition, and you're only doing that because it's like there are so many different ways to experience it. You feel like this is the right way. Is just you fucking holding on to past glory.
Yeah, really quick in the chat, you might thank you for the bits. He says, so most of you know, well, you probably don't know. I grew up with Fanny Phantom, but I didn't know that the creator was a real douchebag. You think he's a horrible person? Butch Hartman? Who is Butch Hartman?
Ooh. I actually don't know,
Yes,
but
he's terrible.
Oh, Roxy's the one that showed me what this dude's fucking all about. So if you don't know, he did like the Fairly Odd Parents,
Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom. Babe, you actually know this more because you actually showed me. So what's this man guilty of?
Well, he's guilty of using his clout of Tough Puppy, Fairly Odd Parents, fucking Danny Phantom, and of course people love that. People love those cartoons, so they follow him. Well, he's notorious for having a GoFundMe where he was basically selling Christian cartoons for a ridiculously high price. And the people that paid for it, he promised a certain amount of episodes, double digits, I believe, and he only ended up giving them single-digit episodes that were like literally like not even 5 minutes each. And he uses that to spread super like Christian propaganda. Like I almost said absenteeism. So basically not having sex, staying away from drugs, and following the only Lord and Savior of this entire world, Jesus Christ, because everything else is wrong because it's brown or some other color that isn't white. Mm-hmm. So he's one of them crazy Christians, basically.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Actually, I'm sorry. I thought you were done, but no. I don't know shit about this guy. So.
The one last thing I was going to mention is if you go on YouTube, you can type in where he's doing a speech at some kind of cartoon, like Christian convention, something like that. And he's literally saying like, yes, not exactly word for word, but basically like, hey, I've literally succeeded in brainwashing children for the Christian agenda. Yeah,
because I'm trying to find it. I think, it's like a full podcast thing here. But yeah, guys, honestly, this dude does like fucking, a shit ton of podcasts. So it's called like the Speech Bubble or something. So yeah, if you guys are curious to see more about this fucking guy, you guys can go check it out. But at the same time, like, why would you want to do that? But at the same time, what I was gonna say earlier is like when I looked up his face and you're talking about like, yeah, he does like children stuff. I'm like, and he was like, yeah, and then abstinence. I'm like, abstinence is way better than him talking about like fucking kids or jerking off on a camera and sending it to some kid on Twitter or something. So
okay, better doesn't make it good.
You're right, but
all right, at least he's not a pedophile in Nick's defense.
Yeah. But the splitting hairs is one thing. It's still not a good lesson.
He did also scam people out of $200 for very, very terrible commissions. By the way.
Yep, I remember that.
A con artist, but not a pedophile yet.
Yeah, it was the Danny Phantom ones too.
Yeah, like things that he literally created. People paid him $200 to make in his style, and they were terrible. When you were Googling him earlier, it showed some of the fan art that he did. It was so bad that actually the other artists had to be like, oh my God, here, whoever asked for $200 for this, here, I'll draw this for you in his style that he apparently can't do anymore. So you don't have to feel like you wasted your $200.
Was it ever his style, or did he just have other people and stole their work?
True, that's a good question. Actually,
at this point, I'm not sure.
Yeah, god damn, dude, like that's awful, and I really hate that, especially considering the fact that like when we get commissions done from people, whatever, it's also like like me and Jeff, once we actually show like our new logos, which are done, and some other stuff too, we're gonna tell you a story about someone fucking us over like $10, but it was so bad, it was pretty funny. But yeah, that's just one of those things that you get into. Like, I wouldn't want to pay someone to do that anyways, because I'm like, who the fuck? Like, how do I know if it's actually gonna be good? But then again, I don't know. I just don't know shit about that space. But this guy does suck though. I don't want to defend him or anything. But boy, like just looking at his face, does that not look like someone who's capable of much worse? Like I'm just saying, look at that dude. Like I feel like this dude can be fucking way worse if given the opportunity to be. So it is what it is. But aside from that, though, I want to finish that one conversation we're having about WB and all that, WB and HBO Max. Alan, what is, except for Matrix 4, what is the main thing that you're looking forward to?
There was Matrix 4. There was honestly Wonder Woman. I think that's probably the easiest thing, and it comes out in a couple weeks because I genuinely enjoyed the first one. I think the ending was fucking terrible, but it didn't really take too many points away from it because I still got a good like 60% or 60 to 80% of the movie. It just didn't nail the landing, so I'm like, whatever. I'm cautiously nervous. Like they clearly have a lot bigger budget, but they have a lot more room to grow, and they're clearly ignoring the canon that they established prior to Wonder Woman 1 of how long she's been around. So it's like now as a result of them just ignoring Batman v Superman as this is, they have a chance to basically kind of go where they want to go. And honestly, man, Pedro Pascal is my favorite actor. Everything that man does is gold.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, gold. Narcos, gold. The Mandalorian, gold. Name me one bad thing that Pedro Pascal's ever been in.
Yeah, he actually is good in Mandalorian. I like that. I mean,
Like, even if you're like, oh, he's not actually acting in the suit, he's still great at his voice acting.
That's true. Hey kid, come over here. Yeah, it's fucking
He
great.
He pulls it off really well when he's like, he goes from the stoic character to he's actually worried for the kid to like him actually feeling like I could believe he's in the suit. Like he's a great fucking actor. So I'm excited to see his role in this movie, and yeah, I hope that movie works out.
Imai, thank you again for the bits, man. Really appreciate it. He says that this other dude, the creator of Ren and Stimpy was a pedophile. John Kay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Big fucking time.
Fucking
Yeah,
shocker.
He took advantage of like 2 different underage girls at his studio. Well, a whole bunch of people basically just ignored it.
Oh, Jesus, he has one of those stories.
And they knew her age too, and it's just like, why is this underage girl here?
By the way, too,
just don't ask him questions.
The other guys who worked on Ren and Stimpy, they actually talked about this a little bit with Double Toasted's interview. I remember that. That was yeah, 'cause I didn't know the story. They kept alluding to it. They didn't want to say exactly if he did something, which I don't know if that's like a legality or if they're like, oh, we don't really believe he did it, but we don't want to like, I don't know.
No, he definitely did it. Both the girls came out and basically said it, and he admitted to it as well. You can even see hints of it.
Jesus.
Yeah, and like if you have the DVD to the Ren and Stimpy adult party cartoon, you can see big hints of it because he actually has one of the girls on like one of the specials that you can watch on the DVD, and it was super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Basically saying like how like I love the way she draws girls, not like these other carpet munching girls out here who have like complaints about how you do girls.
Yeah, so
she
he's
draws
also
sexy
like
girls.
So he's also a homophobic person too, like carpet munching girls, what the fuck, yeah, that's bullshit. And yeah, there's a disturbing fucking picture here. Yeah, dude, this is dark as fuck. Like I don't know, man. Like, in Ren and Stimpy, there's so many weird things about that show too. It just gives you
that show is fucking weird and uncomfortable. So you telling me the creator's weird and uncomfortable? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about looking into someone's head like that. I don't like that shit. That's why, like, dude, and not to go on another rant.
That's why I say fuck you, Dan Harmon, and I'm not watching Rick and Morty anymore.
But like, not to go on another rant or anything, because I know we gotta get out of here. I'm keeping everyone too late, so I apologize. But like, another thing is like, when I watch something like a Quentin Tarantino movie and like it's always about feet or something, I'm like, I hate looking into the brain. I feel like I'm inside his pervert brain as we watch the movie. So when I watch Ren and Stimpy, it's like I'm in this fucking weirdo child molester, whatever the fuck shit, while he's doing this. It's like I don't know, man. It's fucking creepy. But with that said, though, guys, I think we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Though it's been a long show as well as a late show because What Up Sun's pre-shows start off late. So with that said, I got nothing else to really say. But I'm gonna have you, Alan, go ahead and tell people where to find you and Mr. Gandra Guru over there at the.
Oh, tell them, Alan. Tell them.
Alrighty then. So if you go and follow any one of us on Facebook, you'll get a notification to check out the Metropolis Collective, where we have an episode of the Illuminati coming out in the next few days. The Nunes podcast has been doing their thing for the last couple of weeks. Metropolis Sports Pod with Cedric will be coming out very soon. So be sure to check. And there's many more stuff. Content Corner, conversations. So be sure to give a like so you can get the notifications, and I can actually tag you so you can get them right when they premiere.
Nice. So with that said, guys, we're out of here. It's been fun. It's been awesome. It's been late too. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Ganja. Thank you, Jet. Thank you, Alan. Mr. Birthday Boy. We're out of here.
I hate all of you.
Happy birthday, you
Attack
think,
the
bitch.
chat, y'all. And that birthday boy over here.
Cake and
Happy birthday from Smuckers.
Son of a bitch. Old motherfucker.
Smuckers.
Let's see. We're gonna raid Mr. Reva N7. Let's see.
Let's witness.
Let's witness the Reva in the Seva. That makes no sense. That's a dumb thing I just did. I apologize. But you know what?
It's not dumb.
Well, that's a good way to sum up the chat tag.
Hey, you shut up.
No.
Stop it. There's your help.
Bye, folks. Hey, Toasty, tell Chris how you like them.